As Purdue fans continue to rejoice in yesterday's victory, police and bar owners are assessing this weekend's activity. News Channel 18's Alex Styro joins us now with more on tonight's top story. Alex.
Kristen, police and those who work at campus bars all describe this year's homecoming as normal and busy, but somewhat tame. Police say this weekend was pretty typical for a big football game, but now they're looking ahead to other major games this season.
Campus bartenders and police all agree that this year's homecoming festivities kept them on their toes.
It was really crowded weekend. It was fun though.
West Lafayette Police Sergeant Dave Lord says police were kept busy with the usual calls, but he says the number of arrests during homecoming weekend this year was pretty comparable to last year's numbers.
Our incidents are typically alcohol related. This year we had about 8 public intoxications, and that's probably up 2 from last year.
While all the data isn't complete for homecoming arrests, Sergeant Lord says arrests for drunk driving fell this year. And while there were a few bar fights police were forced to break up, he says those numbers also stayed steady compared to last year.
Homecoming this year was about the same as it was last year, and it is typically the same for any big football game.
That's something Jake's Roadhouse bartender Jillian Brown can echo. She says while there were a lot of people at her bar, there really were no major problems.
I'm sure there were the drunks that we had to, shoo out of the bar, but nothing too crazy.
Sergeant Lord says police are now preparing themselves for the next big home football games, but for Brown, this year's homecoming promises to be the biggest moneymaker for the bar this year.
I think this weekend was probably the most busy. I'm sure the Wisconsin game is going to be great, but this weekend it's definitely packed.
Between tailgates at Ball State and Purdue, state excise police cited 19 people on 23 different alcohol-related charges yesterday. Alex Styro, News Channel 18.